Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Morgan, and I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting our other session today, and this is the Epic Holistic Empire Summit. And holistic means a mindset, it's a flow, it's where you perceive your journey on this earth, right? What are your thoughts? What first comes up when you think of certain things and how you react to life? Or are you creating the life that you always dreamed? So those are very, very, very deep conversations we've been going into today. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for all the women that have come on globally and in the US, right, to be able to be a part of this mentorship and this alignment that we are building within millions of women. So I have Arielle. But if I did not, she's going to definitely fill in that space, and she's going to let us know exactly what she does in her business. She does help with you believing in yourself, and she has this beautiful physical product that she makes, and it's customized just for you so that you can have an experience and you can look at this and imagine all that confidence and all that courage coming back to you in every day, every moment of your life. So I'm going to let her go in a little bit more detail about how she's inspiring women and creating magic daily.
Hello, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I'm so excited. And I am just so super excited for everybody that has been a part of this summit because there is so much amazing knowledge from all these amazing women. So congratulations to everyone for being a part of this. So yes, I am a belief. I work with women on their belief systems. So we all have these things that hold us back from really, truly being the person that we are meant to be in this world, from holding us back from the way that we're meant to be showing up and how we really want to live our lives. And so everything can really be boiled down to your belief system, because your beliefs create emotions and emotions create motions. So I work with people to explore their beliefs, to uncover them, to identify them, and then to release them from what is no longer serving them and reframe them into something that will. So we go from limited to limitless, which is really lovely. And from that experience, I create customized malas for people, which are prayer beads made of 108 beads. And I use that, I use crystals that I intuitively choose from those conversations, from those initial conversations, to put into their mala. And we work on a mantra together, which is an empowering statement. And together, all of this comes to my clients, and they can use that moving forward. They can use their mala as a talisman, as a reminder of our experience, as a reminder of those beliefs that are no longer serving them, that they have pushed aside because it's all a bunch of crap anyway. And they can come back to that anytime they need to, which is really lovely. So that's me.
Oh, yes, that is so lovely. So what is gift to the world?
That is really being able to be the light. And what I mean by that is whether that is shedding light on something that we've chosen to hide in the darkness, because a lot of times those belief systems are hiding in the dark. There's something that came from our parents, from our schools, from all these other sources, and they're buried so down deep within us that we sometimes need a flashlight to see it. So I'm kind of that flashlight in that sense. And you know, my gift of light also comes in the way that I approach things and in the way that I take that positive spin on things. And so many things is just about reframing. And I very much believe that you have to have the darkness in order to have the light. And so a part of my gift of being the light is also to help people honor the dark, because you have to have the dark to have the light. So it's a lot about the balance.
Oh, that is so key. Balance, right? We feel like, oh, I just want to get the light. I want to get the light. But actually acknowledge the dark and know what's going on in that space so you can fully be able to receive, right? In what's going on. So how long because a lot of women may want to know like how long you've been in business, but how has your past aligned you to your current business?
So I grew up in a very religious home, and though I very much value the traditions that I grew up in, I always found myself a little bit at conflict with someone else telling me what to believe in. And so I've essentially spent my lifetime say rebelling, because it was never really a rebellion, but it was always being very, very true to myself and to what I personally believed in and to my own personal beliefs journey, whether that is in spirituality or self or the world around me. I have always been very, very in those things that I believe, because I never really felt like anyone else could tell me what to believe in. It had to be a discovery of my own. And so that's kind of the experience, the life experience that has come to, fruition here and really come full circle. And I've been a coach for, I think, 2 or 3 years now. I'm certified through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So I'm a holistic health coach. And when you work with beliefs, you really have to look at everything. So you really are taking a holistic approach at a belief system, at a person, and how they affect different things. And so having done this whole exploration myself, it has put me in a really wonderful place to be able to serve the people that I work with.
Yeah, that is so just amazing to hear. And a lot of people really need to understand this, that women have healed themselves in this area, right? So this is how they gain that strength and that courage to be able to support you on a different level, right? Because they can hold that space for you because they know they have been there. And so what are some of the key ingredients that your clients have been saying that they have the best results in the fastest time, or they totally shift some overwhelm or some blocker situation? Can you go into maybe a little bit more detail of maybe where a client has come back to you and is like, oh my God, and then that helped them believe in their self a little bit more, right? And really tune into who they are, because that's where it starts. Once you start believing these actions work, then they start to really go at it full stream.
Absolutely. I think one of the best things about what I do is that my clients have seen immediate results, which is really, really hard. And it's really awesome. But when you make those shifts in your mindset and you're now fully aware of the patterns in your brain and the neurological pathways that you've created over time, you're now in a position to change that. So everyone that I've worked with has had those immediate results where they are now coming back to me saying, oh my God, I'm coming back to my mantra. I'm coming back to my mala. You're right. And I'm now able to see things in this different way. So a perfect example of this is something that I think a lot of women in business can relate to, where we feel, I don't want to use a bad word here, so that we feel like we're being maybe nasty. And we're not. And women are allowed to have our opinions. We are allowed to be strong-willed. We are allowed to say what we like and what we don't like. But many times, especially growing up in certain families and having, I don't want to say the wrong word, so coming off as
we're okay. This is an open format. Yeah.
Being a bit.
Yeah, you can totally say that. We had some F-bombs and some of the other people from Australia. Okay, I think they just live in the F-bomb world, so it's totally fine.
All right, perfect. Well, I'm from New York, so I do a lot as well. So, and many times when we are strong-willed and we say what we feel, we want, we are labeled as bitchy. And so I had a client who felt like when she was standing up for herself that she was being a bitch, that everyone around her felt like she was a bitch. And this came from and just these thoughts and feelings around her that weren't really her true beliefs. And so when we were able to dig in and uncover what was behind that all, she's not. The truth is that there's no bone in her body that is actually a bitch. Like, gosh, that's not even close to what the case was. And so when we were able to really dig in and discover and uncover where that was, let it go, we then went into what the real belief was and what the truth was. And what the truth was that she is not afraid to say ask for the things that she wants. And she is truly in her deepest self, and in the work that she does, she is serving people, and she is a good person. And there's not a little thing in her that is this image that she felt that she believed that she was putting off, which she wasn't, just by being herself. So able to move past that, she found herself in all these situations where she said what she wanted, and she felt like the people around her were thinking she was a bitch, or that, you know, her family was thinking that because they're a little bit more docile maybe. And so she was able to stop herself in those tracks and remind herself, hey, for me to say, I want this, or I would like that, or I don't want this. And she was able to release herself from feeling guilt and feeling shame and feeling like she was a bad person, because she knew that she wasn't. And so from there, she was able to live in a more authentic place and come back to the mantra and come back to the mala and just come back to our session, remind herself.
I love that, how deep the belief is, but also the perception of what you think other people are thinking of you, right? So a lot of people use tools like, when I go into a room and I know I'm going to a business event, or I'm going to somewhere where I know I need to present myself a certain way, that's the energy I'm pulling in when I'm going in there. You know, like, I am going to land 5 clients, or that everyone wants to know what I do. Everyone can feel my energy. I get inspired, and I have opportunities and abundance and wealth every time I go to an event. You know, so I'm going in with a different mindset and a thought and a belief about who I am, but that persona, but also the energy that I want to put into that room, right? And that's key when people like, oh, people think you're a bitch because because you're determined, but you also have made a great decision in yourself. So, I mean, that's something that, you know, a lot of people probably can relate to. So I'm glad you brought that subject up of, you know, oh, I should be a better mom. I should do this. I should be a better person and mom and do that. You know, like, I love that movie coming up, Bad Moms, which I have not gone to see, but I'm totally going to see it.
Me neither.
I'm like, you know what? It's like, I've been there, and I was like, am I supposed to do that because I'm a mom? You know, like, you have these thoughts going through your head. But we're going to go into, how do you master your 24 hours as a female entrepreneur? Are there some tools that keep you in alignment in your business? And what does that look like for you?
Well, for me, I know a lot of people are all about consistency, and consistency is extremely important. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not. So yeah, for some people, it's all about, I have to do this every single day at this time, and this is the order, and this is how it has to go. And for me, you know, I've got 10 plus years working as a, you know, in the film production industry, where nothing is regular and nothing is steady. And so that type of framing just doesn't work for me. And anytime I've tried to force myself into that bubble, it has backfired. So I have learned, in order to master my 24 hours, I have to honor myself, and I have to look at the big picture. I have to look at, what do I need to get done this month? What do I need to get done this week? What do I need to get done this day? So, you know, it's really about looking at the bigger intention and creating goals from that intention, and then kind of whittling it down and saying, okay, this is my day. This is what my week, what do I want to get out of this week? What kind of personal things do I want to do? What do I need to do for my body? What do I need to do for my business? What do I need to write this week? How many hours do I need for clients this week? How many hours do I need to be creating malas this week? What do I need to be doing for my marketing? And so a lot of that, as I'm sure many other people have said, it comes down to bundling at my week, because I might wake up on a Monday and, you know, start to get going, but it's just not there, and certain things just aren't happening, or perhaps another opportunity came up. And if I know what my week is looking like, and I know where my pockets are, and I have that big overview of what's going on, then I'm able to master my 24 hours in a way that works for me in the moment. Now, that's not to say that there isn't, you know, certain things that you need to commit to, because, you know, of course you need to commit to certain things, and there are deadlines, and there are things that absolutely have to happen as they need to. But for me, flow, I have to have that fluidity in my day and in my week, because a lot of it has to do with my energy. And if my energy isn't in a certain place for a certain task, I need to be able to switch. I need to be able to reframe my day the same way that I reframe my mindset.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, because, you know, so many entrepreneurs, you have to be able to see that pivot, right? That creative pivot, but that alignment for yourself. Because if you don't see that, then you're stagnant. You're not really an entrepreneur, because they're mostly creating consistently and moving and shifting. But I like asking that question because a lot of people, you know, alignment looks different for so many people, right? And everyone needs to hear a process. So I would love for you to explain your energy and how you, like, say if I was a client and I was online and I wanted to go through the process of believing, but also building this beautiful, like the necklace, can you show what you have on, and like see how somebody would, you know, what that means, like how that custom process does, because this is what you do. So I want to make sure that we get enough time for you to share an experience of, you know, you talking to a client, they tell you something that's going on, and how you create this masterpiece for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm wearing it and I've got my earbuds on. Is my personal mala, or one of them anyway. And so you'll see
colors.
That there are all these different types of crystals and different patterns. And I've got a little tassel on this one. But they're all completely different. The patterns are different. The stones are different. Everything is and they're all completely different. So the way that the process goes is it's more of a guided journey. And so I am here as a guide to take you through two different worlds. And so once we kind of get talking and we really get into the heart of it, we talk for a little while and do our thing, and we get to the heart of what the belief is. And so we identify what that limiting belief is. And then we go through an exercise where we are diving deep into the bullshit, because limiting beliefs are always made of bullshit. I don't care who you are. I don't care what it's about.
Yeah.
It's always bullshit. So just like remember that. If you take nothing away from this summit, but from this session, take away that whatever belief is holding you back is bullshit, girl, because you know it is. So what we do is that we go into the journey and we totally give in. We surrender to the limiting belief, and we go into, what does your life look like? What is it? How does it affect your business? How does it affect your family? How does it affect you? How does it affect your body, your food, your friends, your kids? We really, really dive deep into this journey of allowing this limiting belief to rule your life. And so we're going deep, and we go deep into that world so that we can truly and fully understand the bullshit that it is. This is like, I mean, it's kind of like a bullshit journey.
Yeah. Release it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, anything to do. And that's why I'm here as a guide, and it's uncomfortable and it's icky and it's important. And so I'm here to be supportive and loving and be the light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to just let you cop out of it. I'm going to ask you the questions, and I'm really going to dig deep with you. And from there, once we kind of get deep enough where it's really down and dirty, that's where we shift. And then we identify what the truth is, and we really get down into the truth. And this is where, we were just in the darkness and now we're in the light. I told you I'm all about balance. So we're balancing this out, and now we're able to fully understand what the truth is behind the belief, and we're able to reframe our mindset. And then I take you through that same journey, and we're going to go into the journey of good, into the journey of light, into the journey of what your truth is. And if you surrender to that truth and you let go of that limiting belief, we take a look at your life. We look at your business, your kids, your your spouse, your friends, your social life, your physical body, the foods you eat, the money you have, the place you live. We go into all of these different things. So this journey is going to swing you back and forth and back, just once, back that way and forth this way. And so I don't want to go in one way. And so, once we kind of reach the peak of really fully understanding what our truth is and what our possibility is, if we're just surrendering to what that truth is and really fully believing in this new mindset, from there, we're going to create a mantra together, which is really just the client creating a mantra. But, I'm there to help make it really, really good for them. And then I take all of this information and I'm picking up on different things. And sometimes crystals will come to me while we're talking. I had a client that I actually dreamt her whole mala, which was really kind of awesome. And it was perfect. Awesome. Conversation, then I intuitively choose all the different stones and a little bit of research as well. And then I just get to creating, and then you have your mala come to your doorstep.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Jennifer had said, what a great point about bundling and responding to the energy that shows up that day, which is great. I love that. And I love that we're on video because so many people can be like, yes, you know, and hear your passion, right? You could hear your passion and also hear the understanding of this journey of belief, because this is why I do like the 21st Century Blueprint, is because it kept coming to me, blueprint. And I'm like, okay, what the heck? So I'm like, okay, obviously I must be doing this, right? So, and then I found out mine is divine blueprint power, but I'm here to change people's blueprint, right? Because we get stuck in that society, which I don't know if it happened to you, but me growing up was like, you can do this, or this is only one way, or that's only one way. And that gets ingrained into you, like brushing your teeth, right? So can you like go into details? Maybe like, I don't know if you have, since I know you deal with your energy daily, but if shit hits the fan in your day, or you had like this super overpacked day, or maybe it happened in the past or something, but how did you find balance and awareness and mindfulness to come back to your space and get back into the game and finish?
Yeah, I can actually share something that's, you know, not too long ago. And, you know, I was going through a breakup and having the stress of moving, and I'm building my new website, and, you know, just all these things just piling on and piling on and piling on. And I've learned through experience, because I am the super positive person that like everything's always great and don't really need to worry about it, and like, no, I'm cool, everything's cool, let's just keep going, it's cool. That does not work. And so you bring up honoring your energy, because for me, the way that looked was I needed to just chill out. I needed to be sad. I needed to allow things to come out of my body, to be released, to just get out. And I allow myself, whenever something like this comes up, I will allow myself to be sad or angry or mad or frustrated or overwhelmed or whatever that feeling is. Feelings are fleeting, right? Emotions are all these just like clouds in the sky. They're coming and they're going, and it's cool. They're going to pass through. So just like having a rigid schedule, instead of fighting it, and instead of being like, no, I'm fine. Look at me, hear me roar, I'm so good. I just allowed myself to be in that space. And, you know, I took care of what I needed to take care of when it needed to be taken care of, but I also completely and fully honored the space that I was in. And I allowed myself to cry or be angry or whatever it was. And that is probably one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life, is to be upset when you're upset, girl. Like, you can't hide that shit. It's cool. You got to get it out. Like, get it out so that you can work on everything else. Because if you're trying to do a million things when you're overwhelmed and, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, just chill out. And so I think when you're honoring the space that you're in, you're able to say, cool, I'm going to cry today. I'm going to be upset. Today's a really overwhelming day. I'm going to look at my calendar and see what can I do tomorrow so that I can be here today. And then you pick yourself off the floor and you get going the next day. Or if it's 2 days, whatever it is, you honor the space that you're in, and then you pick yourself up and you get going because you got things to do. But it's about allowing yourself to feel that way. And when you get to the point where you're consistently overwhelmed, that's when it's time to really take a look around and say, okay, what's important here and what do I need to let go of, because this is not sustainable. This is not the way that it needs to be, and there are better ways. But if it's just that one-off or you're having a bad week, cool, girl, like, take a week off. Do what you got to do. Look and make sure that any deadlines are taken care of course, and, you know, business has to keep running, but honor yourself. Be where you are. Otherwise, your energy is going to get really clouded inside, and you're going to find mind that moving forward, you're really going to be holding yourself back from showing up in the way that you want to be showing up. So I'm all about honoring your space, let it go. And if you're in the opposite space and you're in this like super vibrant, like go, go, go right now, I got to write, I got to do, cool. Shift things the other way. Spend your time writing. If you're like super in that flow and the big picture is you'll have the ability to shift things around as you need to.
Yeah, that's key. We have a question here from Jennifer. And so she said, love that all beliefs holding me back are BS. And that was great gift. Thank you. But can you both, so me and you, since I was looking at the question, I'll answer it first. Can you both give an example of how you burst through a belief that has held you back? So I'll go first because being a female entrepreneur, I think my general, concept of, am I enough, right? That belief of I need to do all these external things to make myself feel like I'm okay to say yes to myself and completely take action, right? So whether that be buy a course because you think you need to hear more information on strategy or more information on this, or, buy another course, right? Because I think this is an epidemic happening out there where people are just buying courses, feeling sorry that they're not getting through to the courses or they're not getting the results. And then they have like, oh my God, I have all these courses and I haven't done anything, right? Or it's just something like that. But that belief in me I think it was so underlying that I didn't realize that I had to just, I was getting bombarded with all these messages and I just had to be like, let go and be able to receive that I am enough. I think it took like 3 videos popping up that was recommended for me on YouTube, right? For me to like kind of be like, okay, let me watch this, right? Because I'm always open to receive. And I always say, well, what is this message for? What is this message? How am I needing to perceive this message? Because I feel like everything you do, every choice you make, but everybody that comes into your life is for you to either, grow from that situation, learn something, or for you to get through to test you to pass, on you're ready to get to that next level. So for me, I definitely would say that it was a belief is, am I enough? Am I enough exactly who I am to show up continuously and take action and know that me being enough and everything's going to fall into place because I have that confidence, but I also am starting to believe that I'm enough, who I am, I have this gift, and just by me sharing my story and putting my message out there is going to be enough. So that's what I got from that because, I felt like I always thought that I was enough, but then I stopped finding myself buying things or, going online and doing these other things to cover up and distract me from what I really needed to do was show up, put my message out there and put my information out there and share and find that gift and really fulfill that moment or that gift that I have. So I'm going to let you take your question. Do you want me to repeat it again?
No, I can see it on here, and that's great. And I think that that's something that, almost everybody struggles with. Am I enough? Especially when you're going into, you're working one-on-one and you're representing yourself, and it's really, really tough because that question comes up for everybody. And the fact is, yeah, you are enough, and you're going to be exactly right for the people that you're exactly right for. And that just kind of a little off track, but on track as well. It's what freelancing in film production, for the jobs that I did, which was coordinating and producing and production managing, there's only on every single job that does that specific role. So it's very similar when you're working with one-on-one with people, and there are a million coaches out there. And so a belief behind that, I'm not really sure what the belief is, but a lot of people can feel that they're in competition with each other. But the fact is that has something totally different to offer. Even if you're doing the same exact job, the truth is that people are going to connect with you and hire you for a certain reason, whereas they may hire the other person as well, but for a different reason. And many people can be doing the same things. Like there can be many health coaches, they're not going to connect with every single person. So that comes into I am enough, because you can look around you and say, oh, look what she's doing, look what he's doing, look what this is doing. I'm not there yet. I can't do that yet. And that is one of those things. That's a clear-cut belief we all know is bullshit, because you are enough, and you're exactly perfect for the people that you're exactly perfect for. So, I've experienced that on both sides of the coin, for sure, on both of my career paths. And so, I would say one of the things that I struggled with the most when I first started coaching was the belief that I had to know exactly what kind of coach I was when I started. I felt like, and it wasn't even that I felt like, that's what everybody tells you, is that when you start, you have to know what. And so I struggled with what type of a health coach I wanted to be, because I wasn't really connecting with anything in specific. And I had this belief that I had to know, and I had to choose one, and I had to do this. And this is a belief system that definitely held me back, because I wasn't able to just show up as myself. I had to package myself in this or that, and this is my niche, and this is my bubble, and this. And, I tried different types of names, and nothing was quite feeling right, because I had that belief that I had to know, and I had to figure it out, and I had to start with this and then see how it went. But it wasn't until I really let go of that and just said, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I'll figure it out later. I got my name. It's Arielle Zadok. That's it. I don't really need to know anything else. I don't need to figure anything else out, because as myself, and everything else is going to make sense. And so when I started on the path making malas, I didn't even know that I was really going to go back to coaching, that I was going to figure this out. It was just something that I wanted to do. And because I had completely let go of this thought that I had to have it figured out, and that I had to present myself as this kind of coach or that kind of coach, let it unfold. And that's how the beliefs all came about. I had no idea when I started doing this that what I was going to be doing was digging into beliefs with people. I had no idea. And, the fact that I call myself the beliefs coach now just comes from the experience of just showing up as myself and letting go of that belief that I had to know what kind of coach I was, and that I had to choose it, and that I had to fit into this little pocket. And granted, you do have to, kind of have an idea, set out and do it, but just show up as yourself. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have the answers. Just like what you said, Carrie, you just have to start. You just have to do something and allow it to come to you.
Yeah, that is so good. And I could hear from your story, like maybe when you were younger, you always believed in yourself. You're like, no one's telling me what to do. You know what I mean? Or like, I'm going to be doing that just from that space. But then that's grew into this beautiful woman that you are now. So what is your big vision? Because I know I was in the beginning of your process when you were like, okay, I'm going to be doing this and this. And, we were touching base before we did this, which was like months ago. I had this vision, right? And I was just like, okay, here's the date. I'll get it done. So what vision do you see yourself creating for your ultimate performance in your lifespan, existence, or a legacy for worldwide expansion? Where do you see this coming? Like maybe you have this format where you are like having people coach underneath you. You know what I mean? Like, what is your big vision?
I am a traveler at heart. And so a big vision for me is to be taking this beliefs exploration and mala creation to retreats, and be able to travel and bring that as a part of retreats, so that I'm there in the space with everyone. And on any retreat, you're always going to have that downtime. You're going to get time with me, and we can create our sessions together and go through the beliefs exploration. And then, I send off the malas after that. And so that's definitely one of the visions, because I love travel and I love to encourage people to travel. And I think that when you're going through explorations outside of your home and outside of your comfort zone, where you are nothing but the body that you live in, I think that's a really, really powerful thing, because you have nothing else that identifies you. You have none of your stories. You have none of your people, none of your things. You're just your body. When you're traveling, I lived in New Zealand for 4 years. I had nothing. I had myself. That was it. And you have an option to reinvent yourself, or really just get to know yourself on a totally different level. And I always choose to get to know myself on a totally different level and dig a little bit deeper. So that's definitely one of the visions, is to bring this service and this experience to retreats. And definitely thought about working with other coaches to kind of create this thing as well, because I think that jewelry in general is really, it tells a story. You know, I can point to anything on my body and tell you where it's from and how I got it and where I got it and who it came from and what the experience was. And so I think that there's something really powerful behind that. And you couple that with the malas, and I know a lot of people are out there making malas now. And so I think it's just a really, really powerful thing. Really, as a whole, I think the vision just for the world is really to understand that it's up to you to choose what you believe in. You do not have to believe in something because someone else teaches it to you or tells it to you. It is up to you and you alone to decide what feels right in here. And that in turn creates a ripple effect. And so I really just want to be able to create that ripple effect of people really believing in what they want to believe in and believing in themselves and shifting their mindsets to what works for them and letting go of what's working for other people, but really holding them back.
Yeah, this is such a passionate, but also, realistic conversation, because belief is the main key that sets up the fear, right? Sets up the judgment of someone else thinking, I can't do this because someone's going to judge me or someone's going to think different of me if I do this, right? So every mom go out there right now and watch Bad Moms. No, I'm joking. Because then you won't even care, right? You could just totally not care about anything. I know once I get through the summit and everything, I'm definitely going. Because I already told my girlfriends, as soon as it came out, I was like, I definitely need to see that, right? Yeah. You get an age, you're just whatever. So, but how does spiritual alignment look in your eyes? Because I know alignment for me, and this is key that I think a lot of people, you need to fine tune yourself, right? Find that mastery, find that conditioning and that alignment within yourself. And I did about 4, 5, 6 years of work, just alignment work and mindset work. And this is me after living holistically for 20 years, right? I still wasn't fully letting go of all this stuff that may have happened to me when I was younger. So, but alignment for me is I instantly know when I'm out of alignment, and I instantly know it's time for me to get back. I could feel the energy. I could feel my thoughts changing. I could feel myself not feeling comfortable in my skin, or just, thinking differently about who I am and, my reacting to a conversation in a negative way or something like that. So those are some of the things that I deal with. So what does spiritual look like in your eyes? Can you share with everyone?
Yeah, I think that all of us are given this beautiful gift of intuition. And if we are only wise enough to listen to it, it will show us our true spirituality. It will show us our way, and it will always point us to true north. And so I have always followed my gut. I have always followed the little voice. Sometimes I ignore her and it never works out. And so, I think that's a huge part. I think that is, for me, what spirituality is. It's, that relationship with yourself, that relationship with whether it's God, universe, the higher power, or just a higher version of yourself, whatever that looks like for you. And I can't tell anybody what that looks like for them. And so, for me, I do believe in God and I do believe in universe, but really I believe in me, and I believe that there are forces that are supporting me. I may not understand what they are, but that's my spirituality, is the belief that I am supported and that I have this beautiful thing inside me called intuition. And if I am able to listen to her, if I am able to listen to the little flutters in my stomach and the voices in my head and the words in my heart, then I will always be in flow. And I think that when you are on your spiritual path, then you are in flow. When you are doing the things that bring you joy, that light up your heart, that light up your mind, that get you excited, things that feed into your spirituality, those are things that light up your spirit. And so, for me, that just looks like, spending time with friends and yoga and spending time alone and reading and all those little things that bring me joy, and listening when my gut is telling me something, and just really being grateful for the fact that I have this inner compass that
Yeah, no, that inner compass is like key, but I love how you said, and a lot of people have heard that and feel, so I've been hearing that throughout all these sessions. And I think that's really powerful because some people maybe not even feel joy. They may not even know what that feeling is. Can you go a little deeper into what that feeling is for you? Is it a lightness? Is it a, sense of ease? Can you just put a little bit more description for that for people?
Yeah. I would say joy for me feels like flutters, and it feels like a light energy in my whole body that is just, like my whole body is giggling. Like joy is, think of when you were a little kid and, someone was tickling you and you're running around and playing, and that is joy. It's when your whole body feels light and it feels love and it feels warm and it feels flutters and you can't help but smile, even if it's just on the inside, and you get that excited, flutter is kind of the only word that I just keep thinking of, but
Yeah.
That's joy. And it's, the simple quiet moments after a yoga class that just really lifts you. And it may not be the same excited smile and the same excited giggles that you get if you're being tickled, but it is that same light and love that you feel throughout your body for me.
And I would say, like, I would about it. I was like, well, maybe when that boyfriend holds your hand for the first time, or you get that kiss on your cheek, or your first kiss, like coming in that space,
Yeah.
right? Because I think everyone's experienced that, and you're like, you never want that to end. So if you can go into that energy, yeah, that's like an awesome energy when you're young. You're like, oh, please don't ever end. You're just so like after it happened, right? But in the moment, you're just so involved in. But after, you're like, I love this feeling. So we're gonna get into just about like technology, and like so many people or women are just maybe a little bit realizing that technology is here to support you and here to give you a bigger voice, but also, let you expand on your knowledge and help people. Your story may help someone else, right? So how have you used technology to, build your business or start creating or seeing a great change in your everyday?
God, technology is all around me. I've been a producer for, 10 plus years. So like you're speaking my language, girl. There are so many tools around us. There are project management tools. There are email tools. There are calendar tools. These are the things that, even if it feels icky, even if you feel like you might not understand it, there are a million tutorials. Don't be afraid. Just do it, because you need to be organized. Organization is hands down the thing that will save your business, because you could be awesome at what you do, but if you're not organized, girl, you ain't going nowhere. So get your shit together. You have to be organized. So you can, if you're looking for a great project management tool, Basecamp, you can open a free one. I think it's like one project for free or whatever, but that has stuff to hold your documents, and you can share that with people, and your calendar and all these different things. There are a million different integrations, almost app calendar, your email services, and starting to get things automated. If you don't have the finances for that, cool. Use your calendar, set up reminders, and make sure that you're there to actually hit send on your emails. There are so many apps out there, and it's just a matter of finding the ones that you connect with, because some people are, for example, PC versus Mac. Hate Google, hate all those things. I am like Mac all the way. And so I have to use the programs that work best for me, because it's like second nature for me to be in the Apple world. And so for other people, that might look like the Google world, and you're like, that's your shtick and that's what you're into, and that's great. There are Dropbox, there are all these different and applications that are here to make your life easier, for storing documents, for keeping track of your calendar, for automating your emails, for reminding you when it's time to post to social, for actually posting to your social. So all of these tools, and I mean, I've never not used them, so it's hard for me to say how it's changed anything, because for me, it's just always been a part of my life, and I've been, operations director of a nonprofit. So like, this is my life. So I can't tell you how it's changed me because I've always been that way, but I can tell you that single thing in your life cleaner, easier, and a lot less stressful. And you will find things if you're putting them in the right place and labeling them, and just keep it organized from the beginning. And technology will be your best friend, because as much as healers, we want to be only working intuitively and only, I mean, my clients are pretty much all over the phone. If it wasn't for technology, I'd have to meet everybody in person, which is fine, but I work with people around the world thanks to technology. So it's your friend as much as you might be a little bit afraid of it. And there are a million tutorials out there. And I just encourage everybody to find what works for you, because there are, just like there are coaches and producers, there are a million people that are doing the same thing. There are a million different apps that are doing the same thing. It's just about a little bit of trial and error, but figure out what those things are that you need for your email, for your documents, for your scheduling, and for, you know, if you're doing calls or webinars or something like that. Find the core, you know, start with 1 or 2 programs, then to build on to 4 if that's what you need. But, you know, learn it and do it, and it will make your life so easy. And start from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm glad you went into that. And I remember that you were in the production. You could keep talking about that. It's totally fine. But I love that because I was just like, I always forget, but I wanted to just let you expand on it, because some people, you know, in the audience may be like afraid of it, right? And so it's good for them to hear how, oh, this really does help your business, right? People have to see a different perspective on, they're afraid of just like the matrix, right? So they have to hear a different perspective on what it does, or how you can have leads and lead your clients right to you and save you like an hour, right? Make them fill out a form, make them go through a system. And then by the time they get to you, they're ready to all the processes.
Totally.
So how has alignment helped you in just creating wealth and abundance in, you know, as who you are? Because I know you transitioned from the world you were in into what you're doing now. And was that like, you know, how did that alignment really let you say, yes, I'm definitely doing this. This is something I want. Can you just like tap into how alignment has definitely, you know, made you open up more of the person that you've become today?
Yeah, I think that really just comes back to my inner compass. And I am a person that takes action almost right away. That may not always be the best thing, but if I know and I decide that something is not working for me, I just can't keep doing it. And so I think that that's been a quality that I've always had, even as a kid. I mean, that's kind of one of the things that has always followed me. And so as soon as I know that something is not working for me anymore, I have to make that change. I have to shift it. I have to set in a plan, even if that plan is going to take me or 6 months not working for me. And again, it just comes back to that intuition and that inner compass. I have to make those shifts. And if I'm not making those shifts, that means I'm out of alignment. And that means that everything else is going to get really ugly really quickly. So it's really about, for me anyway, listening to that inner compass and taking action. Even if the action is just to put a plan in place, take action and be wise about it. Because nothing has ever really gone wrong for me, to be honest with you, because I feel like I always just land on my feet, because I'm like, whatever, this is what I need to do, and it's going to be what it's going to be. I think as I've gotten older, I've learned to plan a little bit more than I used to, but it's still in alignment with listening to that inner voice. And just, if I know something's not working, and you're going to know because your body's going to tell you, and it may be those little flutters, it may be a voice, and if you're ignoring that voice, it's going to be a sickness. It's going to manifest in a physical way. And so the more you can listen to that voice and make those shifts as they come, that's what's really brought me into alignment. That's what's, brought me into abundance in my life and in my finances and in all these different things, because I'm really just like, that's not working. I gotta pivot. That's not working. I gotta pivot. Ooh, that's working. Let's go deeper into that. So, I think that alignment really comes to listening, reacting, planning, and taking action.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. So that was like our last thing, but we're just I would love for you to leave a golden like I call them the golden nuggets, like something that, you know, if someone does this process, really simple, like easy digestible thing, that they will see some results. So it's something that deals with you as being a belief coach, obviously, right? Because I could hear the belief in you, right? Like you could just feel that you're, like you said, you just believe in yourself. So you take action. And that's what holds people back. That's where people get stuck and they procrastinate, because that unbelieving or unsure of themselves, because they maybe didn't do it last year, you know? So what makes them think they're going to do that this year? So yeah, if you can leave some golden nuggets, that would be wonderful so that we can share with the audience.
Of course. My golden nugget is really that, this is at the beginning, but your beliefs create emotions and emotions create motions. So make sure that your beliefs are in alignment with the motions that you want to be taking, that your beliefs are in alignment with the actions that you want to take. Because if the emotions around things are not, like if you want to be taking this action, but you feel really shitty about it, what's the belief behind it?
Yeah. Oh, I love, 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 love that. That is so awesome. I am having a wonderful day right now. So what I want to say to everyone, yeah, I mean, this is so much fun. It's just like hanging out. I just need wine, right? I just need my glass of wine,
right?
And I totally but what I want to say is thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to let her finish up with like if she has an offer and just how we can connect with her on a different level. But what I want to say is take this to heart, right? Create space. Go outside, sit there, and let yourself be able to receive and ask the questions that you're ready for and start the process, right? Because the process is the key. And like I've had Webinar Jam for over a year and I used it like a couple times and I was just like, oh my God. Like every time I open up, I'd be like, oh my God, right? And then I was just like, I have all these tools, I need to use them, right? And I kept telling myself that, but I just wasn't, I needed that. What I needed was this energy behind this way to create and help people, right? Because that's what I love to do. So that made me really use my technology more. But I want you to let you know that everyone goes through those areas of blockage or overwhelm, and it's about believing and also taking the amplifying an action that you feel comfortable with over and over and over. So I'm going to let you sign off and give all the details on the offer that you have for the summit and how everyone can reach out to you and just, you know, learn to be in your space a little bit. He's going to be tapping in probably into like the Mentor for Millions. Like after this, we're going to have like maybe sessions and stuff along the year with all of the speakers. So here you go.
Awesome. Well, first off, Carrie, thank you so much for having me with you, for having me be a part of this, and for including me with so many other amazing, amazing women. So thank you so much. And thank you all for joining. I'm super excited that you're here. And so the offer that I have, I've got two offers for you. The first is that I can do a mini beliefs exploration session with a Mala inspired bracelet, and that's going to be for $97. And I've also put up on the website, I created a special page just for this summit that you can have the full experience, but I think it was like 30% off. And so the website that you're going to want to go to is www.ariellezadok.com/summit. I know that we're going to put that up somewhere and you can just kind of look up my name and all the paperwork, but it's ariellezadok.com/summit. And my website right now is under construction. So come back in about a month and you'll see all of the goodies in there. But you can still sign up for my mailing list and you'll soon start getting my 2-Minute Tuesdays, which are just little nuggets of love that you'll get in your inbox every Tuesday that won't take more than 2 minutes of your time. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for spending your time. Thank you for mentoring. And I want to know that she looks beautiful. And maybe we had a little like issue, but I know there was like a hurricane down there. So I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah.
Because I saw that in another group and I'm like, oh, thank God she's safe. Because, you know, it just gets crazy down there. My in-laws are in Naples. So, but I do wanted to let you know that I have been making sure you're okay.
Yes,
Not because you're going to be on my summit.
I'm doing time for 2 days. But I'm okay.
Yeah, just because I know what's going on. But I want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. And this has touched me on so many levels. This episode right here on just belief. And belief is what is the, the procrastination, right? The fear of you not believing you're going to do it, not believing you have enough tools, not believing you have enough support. And that's what I wanted to build, is a community and just women mentoring and showing what they do and how they get through their day. Because if you're leaving your same day consistently, that 24 hours that you have that automated, nothing else has room to come in. You have to create space for something new to come in, right? Let go for something new to come in. And that's how you get to the creating the life, instead of reacting to, what has you already said yes to. It's because you're shifting, you're letting go of those issues and bringing in something new. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that all the mentors are spending their time with you and joining that Mentor for Millions Mastermind Facebook group. That's where all the fun's going to end. As soon as we get this all wrapped up, we'll be having all kinds of sessions. I have challenges in there that I'm going to be making you guys do, so you can take action, so you can feel like you're a powerhouse and you're gaining that power every day, and that confidence and that commitment to yourself, and also loving yourself again, right? So that all ties together in one big package. So thank you again. I'm going to say goodbye and have a wonderful day.